In this video, I want to share one of the most distinctive cities in Russia, located 9,288 kilometers by railway from Moscow, at the farthest edge of the country. The city with a unique atmosphere, where Europe and Asia seamlessly come together. It's a place of hills, bridges, Japanese cars, seafood, and vibrant summer life.
If we are one grain of sand in the middle of the ocean, can you try to understand how a touch can cause explosion?
I first moved to Vladivostok at 18 to study, leaving my quiet hometown of Russkiy located 2 hours away. As an introvert and homebody at that age, the transition was a bit challenging. Vladivostok felt loud and overwhelming compared to the peaceful life I was used to. Every weekend I would rush home, and at one point I even considered quitting my study there. In this video I want to share not only general information about the city, but also my personal feelings and experiences to convey the spirit and atmosphere that keep me drawing back here again and again. To give you a deeper understanding of Vladivostok, here are a few interesting and historical facts about the city. This city is the most difficult to reach from Moscow. The Trans-Siberian Railway stretches 9,288 kilometers, travels across the entire country and takes 1 week to complete the journey. It's the longest railway in the world. By flight it takes about 9 hours. And many locals often visit China rather than their own capital. And because it's so far, there is a big time difference. Vladivostok is 7 hours ahead. While the rest of Russia drives left-hand drive cars, Vladivostok drives right-hand. Since this region is so close to Japan, almost everyone here drives a Japanese car. In fact, it's the most car-centric city, with one of the highest car-to-population ratios in Russia. However, getting around the city isn't so easy, as traffic jams are a common occurrence. And since I mentioned cars, let's see how much gasoline costs now in 2024. The price of 92 gasoline in Vladivostok is around 55 rubles per liter. Vladivostok was founded as a military outpost in 1860. At that time, the borders between the territories of Russia and China were finally established, regulating Russian-Chinese trade relations and many other important aspects. And 20 years later gained city status, and then became main city of Primorsky Krai. Since 2018, it has been the capital of the Far East. The name Vladivostok translates to Lord of the East in Russian. During the Civil War, Vladivostok served as the capital of independent state called the Primorzemstvo territory for a year and a half. It was established by the White Army, which did not recognize the authority of the Bolsheviks. Vladivostok was closed to foreigners and remained a restricted zone for 40 years. Even Soviet citizens from other regions had to obtain permission to enter. The city finally opened up to foreign visitors in 1992. This is sun clock. Now it shows it's almost 4 p.m. It's a little bit wrong because now it's 3:15, but the shadow doesn't cover it fully. Nowadays, Vladivostok is the most touristic city in the Far East, drawing not just locals but also people from nearby neighbors like Japan, Korea and China. So it's written in Japanese, Korean, Russian of course, English and Chinese. In the current situation, most visitors are from China. Locals also often choose to go to China for shopping or relaxation on weekends, because it's close, relatively cheap, and there is no need for a visa if traveling in a group. And because of its geographical proximity to these Asian countries, it has influenced the city's food, culture, and business environment. For example, as I said before, Japanese cars are popular in this region, and sports like drifting have also come to this place and are loved by many drivers.
Ooh, you wanna come and get me, kick me down and make me hurt myself. Oh no, you will never forget me. I'm in
In terms of food, besides Russian cuisine, there are also popular Chinese, Japanese and Korean restaurants among locals. And some foods have such deep roots that they've become specialties of Vladivostok. For example, there is a street food that originated from Korean cuisine, and it's similar to Chinese baozi, but it has its own unique flavor. In Russian we call it pense. It's essentially a steamed bun filled with meat, usually ground pork or beef, and cabbage, seasoned with garlic, onions and various spices. And it's usually accompanied by milkis, which also comes from Korea. When I was a student, I often ate it because it was cheap and filling. Ines, say hello.
Hello.
Hello to the world.
Hello to the world. Very delicious, tasty, yummy.
However, the smell is quite strong, so it's better not to eat it in public places. Some words also have influences that people in the European part of Russia may not know. The most popular example is the word chifanka. It's an informal Russian term that comes from the Chinese word for eating, chifan. We use it to refer to a simple, cheap, mostly Asian restaurants. In Russia, the first thing that comes to mind when thinking of Vladivostok is seafood. As this city located at the Japanese Sea, for many tourists, one of the must-do activities is trying fresh seafood straight from the sea. Oysters or scallops are usually served raw with lemon or sauce. The most famous are red caviar. These 500 grams of red caviar cost about 3,000 rubles. And Kamchatka crab is also called red king crab, which is one of the largest species of crabs in the world. Now we've arrived at one of the most popular and Instagram-worthy spots in Vladivostok, called Tokarevsky Lighthouse. This lighthouse is quite old, completed in 1913. In my opinion, it looks charming, and the photos taken here turn out picturesque and somewhat romantic. The area is also known as Tokarevskaya Koshka. Koshka means cat in Russian. The name comes from a spit of land that looks like a cat's tail. Now, part of the tail is underwater, but during low tide you can reach the lighthouse by land. A little bit crowded today because it's weekend and sunny. People come here to relax and swim in. Despite being so far from the European part of Russia and so close to Asia, Vladivostok retains a distinctly European-Russian look, making it an easy way for Asian tourists to experience European exotic. At the same time, it allows locals and tourists from all over Russia to engage with Asian culture, creating the feeling of a bridge between different worlds. The city is often compared to St. Petersburg due to its architecture, and to some it even evokes San Francisco because of its bridges. I haven't been to either of those cities yet, so I can't say anything about it. But for me, Vladivostok has a charm that's all its own. This is traditional Russian cartoon character, a bit exhausted. We call it Cheburashka. It's kind of Soviet Mickey Mouse. The winter here is not as cold as in Siberia. On average, it's usually -5 to 15 degrees. However, the harsh, strong wind from the sea, which is common here, makes the weather feel more disgusting. And the summer here is short, with sunny warm weather starting only in the middle of July. June is mostly rainy, and sometimes it has tropical downpours that flood the low areas. Now it's August, the hottest time of the year, so people are enjoying it as much as possible. All the beaches, even those in the city, are full. Many people take a vacation and go out of town for a few days to relax in nature by the seaside. Besides being a tourist city, Vladivostok has recently been attracting students not only from nearby regions, but from all over, due to its several higher education institutions. One of the most popular is the Far Eastern Federal University, which was built and moved to Russkiy Island in 2013. In August 2024, it recorded a record number of applications. The most popular fields, of course, were those offered by the Eastern Institutes such as linguistics and international relations. As both a tourist destination and student city, Vladivostok feels especially alive in the summer. With lots of energy and fun, there is always something happening around town. Its lively atmosphere encourages me to step outside my comfort zone, embrace new experiences and start a new life. In many ways, this city became a second home. I'm lucky to catch sunny weather. I hope it will be for the whole day, because in Vladivostok the weather is so changeable. It can be sunny now, after about 5 minutes it can be cloudy and foggy.
A few moments later.
The Golden Bridge is here, but you cannot see it. Now it's even better. Beautiful! Так ничего. I'm still hoping that there will be a view. Silent Hill. The second bridge in the city connects to Russkiy Island and was built in 2012. Before, people could only reach it by boat. It's considered one of the longest cable-stayed bridges in the world. There is also a recently built oceanarium on Russkiy Island, where you can explore some exotic and local sea creatures. There are also some historical landmarks and many other picturesque spots for photos and relaxation. But now I came here for another reason. To celebrate my friend's transition into adulthood and wisdom, as she turns 30 years old. Поехали. She decided to do it in Hawaiian style.
Ура! С днем рождения!
Танцы, гавайские танцы.
Здравствуйте. This city has become more than just a place on the map for me. It's where I've built lasting friendship and where my journey and exploration began. Sometimes we just need to take a step into the unknown that can change our lives forever. If you would like to take a glimpse into a simple Russian middle-class life, I recommend watching my previous videos where I share my own experiences.